very much.
Time was when he walked into this place as First Minister. How time has changed.
I swear by Almighty God that I'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
This was Alex Salmond, the witness. In this Parliament's history, his story, as he told it, was of treachery and betrayal by old friends. Not before he railed against the institutions in the country he once led.
The failures of leadership are many and obvious. And yet, Convener, not a single person has taken responsibility, not a single resignation, not a single sacking, not even an admonition. The Scottish civil servant hasn't failed, its leadership has failed. The Crown Office hasn't failed, its leadership has failed. Scotland hasn't failed, its leadership has failed.
The former First Minister said his successor, Nicola Sturgeon, had breached the ministerial code and spoke of a meeting in March 2018 that she said she'd forgotten. April the 2nd that year is when Nicola Sturgeon told the Scottish Parliament she first learned of complaints against Alex Salmond when they met in her house. She said it was an SNP party matter and so no records were kept, as they should be with government business. But there was a meeting in her office 4 days before that, on the 29th of March, on one account to arrange the one 4 days later on the government business of a government investigation. Sky News revealed last July that a witness who attended that meeting discussed with Nicola Sturgeon complaints against Alex Salmond. That doesn't square with the account that the First Minister gave to the Scottish Parliament. It was only after we reported the content of that meeting that Nicola Sturgeon addressed it, saying she'd forgotten it had taken place.
Under the Ministerial Code, the correct thing to do would have been to correct the record as timorously as possible, as opposed to waiting 18 months till Sky News broadcast it.
Alex Salmond took the committee back to January 2019 and his successful legal challenge against the government investigation into complaints against him.
That they were tainted by apparent bias.
The Scottish Government had ignored legal warnings they would lose, he said, in the hope he would be arrested.
If the criminal case had been advanced, then the civil case wouldn't have gone ahead pending the outcome of the criminal case. And many people seem to invest a great deal of hope that the criminal case would ride to the rescue like the cavalry over the hill, and somehow the civil case would never be heard.
With his departure, Alex Salmond clears the way for part 2 of this political drama. Nicola Sturgeon will appear as the second half of Holyrood's double bill next week. New questions for her are raised by answers from him. James Matthews, Sky News, Edinburgh.